Hey y'all, I'm back on the floor as usual. I was gonna do a get ready with me for the hockey game, but I forgot because Caroline and I were catching up on life. We are just gonna do it now. I just washed my hair, so it's still a little wet, and I have this big pimple right here and it hurts so bad. So we're gonna cover that up. So I feel like my makeup routine hasn't really changed, but also it kind of changed. I'm using the Milk Hydro. This is literally the best primer ever. I don't even know how I found out about that primer, to be honest, but it literally makes my makeup last pretty much all day. Like, I wish I would have known about that primer when I was like in cheer, but I don't think it existed by then. I don't think Milk was like a huge makeup brand by then. But yeah, next I'm gonna take the eltamd tinted sunscreen. I haven't been like on my like no foundation kick right now, so yeah. This week, I keep wanting to say like this weekend because usually hockey's played Friday, Saturday for college, but it was a GLI tournament, so it was Tuesday, Wednesday. So Caroline and I had a great time. It was so much fun. We ended up, so we like had planned on going to the Tuesday game. Like that was always the plan because Caroline had to work Thursday. So we went to I drove up Tuesday. Traffic was so bad, so I like showed up like 45 minutes later than I wanted to, but whatever, it happens. And then we went to the hotel room before the game, and I threw on some makeup so I didn't look like a sewer rat. I hope that's blended. I'm literally using my camera as my mirror right now. So then Caroline was giving me her life update. She was asking me about my life update, and I was like, honestly, not much has been going on in my life, if I'm gonna be honest. I'm using this Jouer concealer pen, and to be honest, I wish I would have gotten it in a darker color because I think I'd use it more, but I just got it in too light of a color. So yeah, so I just use it under my eyes in there, and then I have no idea where my big NARS ones are, so we're just taking my mini ones. So yeah, anyway, I'm just gonna literally put this all over my face. I'm just gonna use this mirror at this moment. Do I have a mirror still? I'm gonna see. Give me a second. Okay, apparently I don't have my mirror here anymore. So then we went to the game. Well, actually we went to, so there was two games. So GLI, it was Western Tech, Ferris State, and then Michigan State. And so Tech and Western played at 3:30 on Tuesday. So Caroline and I went, and it was Western. Western destroyed Tech 8-1. And this one kid got a hat trick, which was really cool. And then I paid way too much money for a hot dog, i.e. like 10 bucks. And because when I went there freshman year of college, I had the best hot dog of my life there. It was literally so good. Whatever. Like, if someone asked me where I had my best hot dog, I would say Van Andel at the Griffins game. So then I got my hot dog, that was a whole mess and a half. And it wasn't even good. So, waste of my time and money waiting for my hot dog. But, whatever. Then we watched State lose to Ferris, which was really disappointing because Ferris is good. Like, they're not a bad hockey team, but we normally beat them. Like, it's normally close because we're not very good, but we were having like such a good season this year because we were ranked 17 and we're like 7th in the Big Ten, maybe, I don't know. So I was like, high hopes. So we weren't gonna go to the Wednesday because we would have been, if it was a championship game, we would have been playing at 7. So that was not going to be good. So then we ended up losing. So then we ended up playing at 3:30. And Caroline and I were just wandering around Grand Rapids, not thinking about going to the game. I mean, we joked about it. We're like, do we go? Because like we're playing at 3:30. Like, when else are we gonna come back to Grand Rapids, you know? So we were joking around, whatever. All of our stuff was in the car because we had to check out at noon from the hotel. And then Mr. Jagger DM'd Caroline and I was like, no poster for the boy. And Caroline and I were like, the boy? I was like, the last time we made a poster was Sasana, and it was the number 22, My Friend Has a Crush on You. That hung in our college house forever. So iconic, whatever. And so Caroline and I were like, what? So I was like, Caroline, respond with like, what boy? Like, what is this man talking about? So she did, and he was like, I was referring to myself. And we were like, we didn't know we were friends like that. Like, we know who he is, but we didn't know he knew who we were. And so then Caroline was like, with some convincing, we'll show up with a poster. And he was like, I get that, like with what happened last night, basically saying like they lost. And I was like, you should just respond with, we went to the games even when you were on a 13-game losing streak. She didn't. She just said it was still a fun game to watch, I think. So yeah, so then we ended up going to the game. It was fun. We lost. So we literally got 4th in GLI. We literally lost to freaking Tech. Like, it was so bad. And it was, I feel bad because I wish I could see that play again. It was 2-2. No, it was 2-1. And there was like a minute left. And Cole went for a check and he checked him. And I thought it was a shoulder. Like, I thought it was a clean hit. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I just saw it wrong. But they called it for an elbow. So he ended up going into the box for 2 minutes. But he was in there for maybe 30 seconds before Western got a goal. So then oh my god, I'm not even telling you what I'm using. Okay. I'm using Dibs in shade 5.5. The blush is Wine Hot and the bronzer is Cocoa Kiss. I don't know. It's the only one I've ever tried, and I feel like maybe the bronzer might be a little too dark. Maybe I should do a lower shade, but I like the blush on that one the most. Anyway, so then back to the story. So then they got a goal, so then it was tied. So then we went into overtime, and I was really hoping we were gonna go into sudden death of shootouts because Kelly has been killing it in, you know, the good old shootouts. So I was like, maybe we'll get some luck out here, boys. And beat them, which would be cool because then we would get 3rd. At least not last, right? And no, so then we put out our line after we cleared it. to like switch during penalty or during, because it was 3-on-3 for overtime, which I always thought that the first round of overtime, there's a baby deer. Where's the mama? Oh, there she is. Hold on, I have to show you. Okay, I'll zoom in. There's the mama deer, like right behind the tree. And the baby deer is right behind the electric box. My camera doesn't zoom anymore, so yeah. Let me zoom out before I turn this around. So then, so we cleared it, and I didn't think we cleared the puck enough to switch lines. That was just my opinion, though. It didn't pass the like second blue line, so I was like, okay, that's risky, boys. So I changed lines, and because the first line was Dort, Cole, and Herdig, maybe? No, that's not right. It was another forward. I don't know who it was. Anyway, so then the next line came out, and I can't even tell you who was on this line because they were out for a whole like 10 seconds. So I knew it was Muka, the captain, and I just got an email from my apartment complex telling me that my gym is coming to our apartment. Why? Kickoff training. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Anyway, back to the scheduled programming. So Muka was definitely out. Who was on D? I have no idea. Who was the center? I have no idea. Because they were out for literally 6 seconds because then Muka got a penalty for something. Was it tripping? Is it tripping or slashing? I don't know. Because at first I thought it was for hooking. I don't know. Anyway. So he ended up in the box. And then I was like, oh my god, are we about to be freaking 3-on-2? But I found out that they just do 4-on-3. So then like Western's at the advantage. And they literally got a goal in milliseconds after that. And then overtime was over. So that was horrible. But what was funny was when we were talking about Jax, he was like, I'm not worried about this game. I was like, maybe you should have been a little bit more worried, Jags. Anyway, so that was disappointing. And it's just disappointing too because like we're in the Big Ten, so we're supposed to be like good because like almost all of them are D3 except, or D1 except Tech. I think Tech is D2. But isn't Western D1? Or are they D2? I know for a fact Ferris is D1. Anyway, so like we're in the Big Ten, we're supposed to be like the big to do, which like I get it, we suck, like it happens. But I'm just like, that's just so disappointing and annoying and whatever. It was still really fun to go. I'm like happy we went. I wish we at least won one game. And then Caroline was like, I told Caroline, I was like, I think we're their bad luck charms, because it's just, we don't have a good track record. Because like last year, I mean, I went to a lot, like I went to almost all of the games except like 2, I think. And we were on a 13-game losing streak for a hot moment in time. So that was really disappointing. And then they just lost twice. But it was really funny because this lady sat down next to Caroline and I, because so for the first game we sat in the second row, and like that game was packed, so like we didn't move, we just like stayed where we were supposed to sit. But for the second game there was like nobody there for the 3:30 game, and we weren't staying for the 7 because I needed to go home. And so why can I not speak right now? Oh, no one was there for the 3:30. We weren't staying for the 7, so we're like, we're just gonna move up to not our seats, because we were in the 3rd row for the second game. And this lady sat next down to us, and she's like, you guys are sitting in one of our seats, like if someone comes you're gonna have to move. So Caroline and I made the assumption that she was gonna be like not super nice to us, and then we were like, oh yeah, no problem, like whatever, like, because Caroline was like, well, what if we sit in someone's seats? And I was like, then we move. Like, I'm really not worried about it. Like, no one was in the front row. Like, I was like, we can either move down the row or we can just go back to our seats. Like, it's fine. Like, if we get pushed back to our normal seats, I'm not gonna be mad, because we weren't supposed to be sitting where we were sitting anyway. And we're like, yeah, no big deal, whatever. And then we were like, oh god, this is gonna be a long game. And so then I said during, I think it was the second period, I was like, because I think it was 1-1 at that point. I was like, oh my god, my heart is racing. And she was like, wait till your kid's on the ice. And I was like, oh god, that's very true. So then we started talking to her a little bit more, and she was like, because there was like the whole like MSU student section was like next to us, and she was like, oh, like, do you guys get bus down here, or like, do you guys drive, like, how do all of you guys get to this game? And both Caroline and I were like, oh, we both graduated. And I was like, when we were there, like, they didn't have a bus, but like, who knows what they're doing now. And she looked at us and she goes, you guys graduated? And we're like, yeah. And she goes, I thought you guys were so young. And I was like, well, if it makes you feel better, like, we literally just graduated in May. Like, we're not super old by any means. And I was like, we feel ancient, but we're not actually that old. And she just laughed. But yeah, so we had that and then we left. But I was sad, but it was a good game. It was fun to see the boys. Caroline and I were sad because every time we saw number like 22 or 14 or 9, we were like, 9 should be Lewandowski, 14 should be Good Sir, and 22 should be Susanna. And it's not. It's like the new freshman. And which it's nice to see like the program changing and hopefully becoming better. Nightingale is one of the calmest coaches I've ever seen. He was so calm the entire time, and I was like, sir, I think you need to be a little bit more worried about these boys because they're not doing their job. Oh, rewind. The powder I used was the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores. I don't know if I really like it. I've just been using it. Bronzer is Hoola. And then literally, and then my highlighter is a really broken Champagne Pop from Becca. One of my favorites. And then the blush was Seduce by Tarte, which is literally my favorite blush ever. So, and then I just used the Makeup Forever eyeliner, which I need to like take off this plastic and sharpen it, but that's a later issue. Where's my eyelash curler? So it was a fun game. Glad we went. It was really nice to see Caroline. I missed her. It was good to like catch up. I felt like we were in college again. I was like, oh, where's the bungalow? Like, are we gonna go back to the bungalow? I miss our college house. But yeah. But I told Caroline, I was like, you better keep me up to date, Miss Girl. But yeah, it was really nice to see the boys, even though I feel like half of them have no idea who we are, and we know who all of them are. But apparently Jags knows who we are. So Jags and Tuck and Kelly and Jacob. Ugh, God. If you know about Jacob, you know. You've been watching the vlogs. Or you're just one of my really close friends from college. So, and then we were there was a boy on Western, his last name was like Crispy. It was really funny. Yeah, and then there's Shouty on MSU. But, yeah, I like wish hockey was big in Texas, because it would be so fun. But we still need to go to an SMU game, even though they're club, because I think it'd be fun. So, yeah, that was the weekend. It was a good time, but whatever. It happens. Boys lose. It was just so funny because Caroline and I are like so in sync. Like, I think it's funny because we haven't seen each other since graduation, so it's only, I mean, it's been a couple of months, but like it feels like forever. And during warm-ups, like Jags like skated by us slow and we both waved and then sunk down in our seats. It was just funny that we were both doing the same thing. But I was like, when did Jags follow you? And she's like, it must have been at college, because like none of us could remember. But it was really funny. It was a fun weekend. I'm just mad that that chaos happened Wednesday, because that was like the chaos we needed Tuesday. Because the only chaos we got Tuesday was when I posted on my Snap story and I like posted a picture of me and Caroline, and I was like, where else would we be? And then I put like the Van Andel arena. So that was fun. And Tucker was like, oh my god, are you in GR? I was like, no, I'm just at the Van Andel in Texas. But then we started, oh my god, Caroline and I, we have such a bad like habit of making up nicknames from people's last names, like hockey players in specific. And so like Tucker, he said that everybody calls him Tux, and I was like, no. And so then we started calling him Tuxedo. So yeah, Jags is the only one that no one calls him by his last name, because who the heck wants to call him Joshua? Not me. So yeah. And then Caroline and I were getting emo because I was like, I wish I wasn't in grad school, because I would fly to Michigan to go to senior night, because there's gonna be so many seniors, because it's gonna be the twins again, even though they were technically seniors last year. So it's the twins, Jags, Middendorf. All of the grad students are like 5 of them. And how we like talked about here. Let me see. Let me go through them. Caroline. Jagger Mueller, Middendorf the twins, Jaclyn, who's a transfer, Muka, Nolan, Underwood, and Sincere. And then she was like, there's a lot of seniors. And then I was like, oh my god, the video. And I was like, this is, that's really loud. This is literally live footage. So every single senior night of hockey, like, I don't know why it was hockey. I don't know if it's just because like I have a very strong love for hockey and like, I don't know. I knew the most players on the team of hockey. Like I knew a lot of the baseball players or basketball players, and then we knew like the main football players, but I was like obsessed with hockey from freshman year on. Every single senior night I cried, like sobbed my eyeballs out. And you would think I would just sob on my own senior night because it's like the last sporting event of the year, unless like we made it far in March Madness, but like that's different, like regular season sports. But no, I cried every single senior night, freshman, sophomore, junior year. I like couldn't cry because it was freaking COVID and they didn't show senior night on like a live stream. I was still sad though because we were losing Lewandowski and then he came back, so that was really a win. But this video cracked me up because Caroline and Leah had never gone to a hockey game with me. Well, Leah said she did, but we don't believe her. And so Leah got this video of me. This was during like the senior video when they say like things they're gonna miss about Michigan State. Absolutely sobbing. My foot is so asleep. Yeah. So that was life at that time. And that was me every year. And that was the same night that I got that photo with Susanna that my mom put on a canvas. LOL. But I was like, I would love to be at senior night this year because the twins are actually having their senior night. And like freaking Mitty and Mueller, like, oh God, I love both of them. And Jags is just Jags. What a man's. But yeah, I don't know. I just like think that team dynamic is gonna be so different. I don't know. Cause like Jags was like the roughhouser, but so was the twins. And I feel like we don't really have that on the team yet. Which maybe like when they leave someone will step up and be the aggressive mans. But yeah, I don't know. Just sad. And the year after that it's like Tucker and Nash. I swear Nash was older. Is Nash doing a 5th year? I don't know. Anyway, because it's gonna be like all of those boys and that just makes me sad. Wait, no. No, Tucker's not graduating yet because he'll only be a junior. I get so confused with them because like they all do the juniors, so then they like come in as a 20-year-old freshman. And I'm like, what the frick? Because they all like turn 21 their freshman year of college. And then like by the time they graduate, they're 24. But it's because they like play in the juniors. Most of the time it's in Canada for 2 years. But I don't know, man. Like the only ones that I feel like were true freshmen my freshman year was the twins. Was Goodsir. For some reason I think Goodsir's older. I don't know. But yeah. That was my hockey update. Well, that was rude. I don't know why my camera just shut off. Oh, it was probably because it was like too big of a clip. I don't know. Anyway, back to what I was saying. That was my little update from this weekend week going to Grand Rapids, which is gonna be the 2 videos before this. But I'm getting ready because we're going to dinner in Chicago to this restaurant that my entire family has been to except me, and I'm so excited. It's gonna be so fun. Because they all, all the guys go every December, and they all just like rave about the food. And I freaking love food. Like, I'm such a foodie. Like, I love a really nice dinner. Like, when you get the steak that melts in your mouth, or like shrimp, or lobster, crab. Like, oh god. Like, when you like go get ready for like a fancy restaurant, even if it's like, it doesn't have like a dress code, you just like get ready to get ready. Those are like my favorite dinners. Like, I'm such a nice dinner girl. Like, oh god. Like, that's like my favorite thing about like birthdays and like Christmases, and, well, not Christmas, but like big accomplishments like graduation and things like that. My freaking left eye, I like ripped out half of my eyelashes when I was taking off my makeup. You can hear the bad squeaking. That is my brother above me. But yeah, I'm so excited for dinner. I freaking love dinner. I'm so excited. I like wish I didn't eat lunch today so I could have more room for dinner. But whatever. I feel like my eyelashes kind of look psychotic. But whatever. So yeah. And then I'm gonna use this Anastasia. Okay, it said my internal temperature of my camera is too high, so I'm gonna quickly do my eyebrows, and then I'm gonna spray my face with all-nighter spray, and then I'll be done. I hope y'all enjoyed this like little video chit chat of me updating you on my life and how this weekend went. And yeah, it was fun to get ready with you, even if I kind of sucked at it. Oh, the mascara I used is the Thrive Cosmetics one, which I don't love, and then the primer I used is the Marc Jacobs eyelash primer. And someone told me, and I don't know if it's true, that Marc Jacobs doesn't make their makeup line anymore, and I will be crushed. So yeah, please comment down below what you want to see. Also, very sorry that Vlogmas is like not on track at all. That is very much my fault. This break has just been crazy. So yeah, love you guys the mostest. Bye y'all.